7 home runs during the regular year, second only to this guy right here.
Yeah, I would think electric fastball. If you feel like you got a great fastball, challenge Shohei Ohtani because he's good.
There are mornings when victory feels within touching distance, and yet somehow your chest tightens as if the game has already begun without you. That was the mood today in Blue Jays Nation, a strange cocktail of triumph and tension, of stability secured and uncertainty looming. Here on the Blue Jays Report, we don't just follow headlines, we chase the heartbeat of a season standing on the edge of something historic. The front office has spoken with conviction. Toronto Blue Jays have placed their faith firmly in John Schneider and Ross Atkins, extending their leadership into the future, like architects reinforcing a structure they believe can finally touch the sky. After a season that flirted with glory and a World Series clash that still echoes through the corridors of Rogers Center, continuity feels like both a reward and a responsibility. But stability, as comforting as it sounds, casts a long shadow. Because while contracts are signed in ink, roster decisions are written in tension. As opening day creeps closer, the clubhouse transforms into a theater of quiet nerves, where every handshake could be a farewell and every smile hides calculation. And if you're feeling that tension, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Blue Jays Report, because this is where we break it all down without filters. At the center of the storm stands Davis Schneider, the fan favorite whose energy once lit up the dugout like a spark in dry grass. Yet now he finds himself locked in a ruthless duel with Leo Jimenez, a player whose defensive versatility whispers promises of safety to a manager who can no longer afford risk. It is the classic battle between heart and logic, and baseball, cold as ever, rarely chooses the heart. And then there's the bullpen, where names like Chase Lee and Spencer Miles hover in limbo, suspended between dream and disappointment. Imagine that flight to Toronto, where silence speaks louder than words, and every player understands that by the time the plane lands, a career path may have shifted forever. The pressure is immense. 6 home games to open the season, a fan base demanding redemption, and the looming shadow of a rematch that feels less like sport and more like destiny calling unfinished business. This is no longer about potential, it's about proof. So here we are, on the brink. Leadership is locked in, expectations are sky high, and one decision could ripple through the entire season. What would you do in that moment? Would you keep the spark or trust the system? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the Blue Jays Report, because this is where we break it all down without filters.